Cllr Jane Tremlett, you are probably, many of you are quite familiar with Jane. She's been here before, she has spoken to this audience, and she's quite involved in matters to do with the County Council. But if I can say it, she has represented Larne Township Ward for over 11 years, an executive board member for health and social care, with responsibility for adult social services, residential home care and mental health, amongst other things. And she shares the role of being the 50-plus champion within the County Council. So a very important role that is, and of course all the bits of her portfolio as well. So give a warm welcome then to Cllr Jane Tremlett.
Thank you, Peter. I'm so short he's got to adjust it. Is that all right? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Well, good morning again, everybody. And this annual event is always a highlight in my diary, and both Linda and I look forward to being with you. On behalf of the County Council, I would like to thank the 50 Plus Forum for all they do throughout the year. Linda and I attend their 50 Plus Forum meetings as often as we can. If one of us can't go for diary commitments, we try and ensure that the other one is there so that we have that continuity with the forum. I'm going to concentrate the first part of my talk with you today on Carmarthenshire is kind. And loneliness and social isolation are widely recognised as among the most significant and entrenched issues facing our communities. Over recent years, increasing public attention has been given to evidence that has defined loneliness as a looming social crisis. Definitions of social isolation tend to focus on the lack of social structures and social interaction with other people, whereas loneliness is experienced by someone who feels the lack of intimate, supporting or nurturing relationships with others. This creates the situations where individuals can be socially isolated without being lonely, or conversely, a socially connected individual who still experiences loneliness. Whilst loneliness and social isolation are closely linked, it's clear from this definition that to confuse them as one and the same issue would be problematic. It's important, therefore, that we take a nuanced approach to tackling the causes of loneliness and social isolation at a community level, acknowledging that the overlapping symptoms have multiple sources. Some of the evidence that has been gathered is quite startling. For instance, the effect of loneliness and isolation can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. We know that lonely people are at a higher risk of the onset of disability. Loneliness puts people at a risk of cognitive decline, with one study concluding that lonely people have a 64% increased chance of developing dementia. There is growing evidence that kindness can bring about improvements in well-being, as well as improved health and ageing outcomes, and that simple acts of kindness have a significant impact on perceptions of loneliness in older people, and are defined as an essential component of successful communities. Prioritising action to address loneliness in older people and those with physical disabilities is a key objective of our integrated services. One of these actions has been the development of Carmarthenshire is Kind, an awareness session that outlines the evidence base of the benefits and aims to create a movement of kindness in Carmarthenshire. The 50-minute sessions outline the evidence for the positive impact of kindness in individuals and the community as a whole. It promotes 5 key messages. Kindness is good for us. It connects us. It is for everyone. It protects us. And finally, kindness is contagious. At the end of the session, participants are asked to make a pledge to perform one act of kindness, hopefully at least one a day, and they are then identified as Carmarthenshire Friends by a heart badge. Currently, our Social Care and Health Scrutiny Committee are undertaking a task and finish exercise on loneliness, which will report to me and the Executive Board, and I look forward to their findings and recommendations. Whilst our communities have changed dramatically over the last 50 years or so, so I'll start again. So whilst our communities have changed significantly over the last 50 years or so, I am confident that those core values that made our communities so strong in the past are still there for us to build on. That basic instinct of kindness to our neighbours and friends is still with the majority of people in our communities. We are, in partnership with the 50 Plus Fforwm, holding the official launch of Carmarthenshire is Kind today. I move on now to dementia. Our work to make Carmarthenshire a dementia-friendly county continues at pace. Ammanford, Llandofri and other towns have already achieved that status. Currently, the communities of Larne, St Clears and Whitland are working towards this. The County Council, working with the Alzheimer's Society, support the local community through the process of setting up support networks in their communities. We plan in early 2019 to make the Carmarthen town area our focus for this work. Much good work is already being delivered, and I would particularly like, across the county, and I would particularly like to pay tribute to the work of Janet and Brian, together with their team of volunteers at Tigolai, who provide interactive sessions for people with dementia and their carers in the Kidwelly and Llanelli area. I have a dream that everyone across the county with dementia could be able to access this service. Also, our IAA service, which is a continuum, if you like, or a development of our Careline service, is now provided by Carmarthenshire County Council through our Delta Wellbeing. We provide information, advice and assistance in Eastgate to all those to ensure that a call from somebody who may be facing a crisis in their family or just have a query get the appropriate response at the time of their first call, which is essential. Nobody, when they're absolutely worried about a family member or a friend, wants to be sent, well, you need to phone so-and-so. Oh, I'd get in touch with somebody else. We need to get that person connected to the right person at the right time to sort the problem out. All the services mentioned today have stands in the glass house, so please visit them and talk to our teams. They will be very pleased to see you. In conclusion, I'm extremely proud to have the Executive Board role for Social Care and Health, and particularly proud of our staff and how we have turned our services around. Traditionally, we used to meet somebody, do an assessment, and tell them what we could deliver and do for them. Now, to be compliant with the Act, the Welsh Government Act, we now ask them what it is matters to them. What would they like? What do they need? In order that, and I do thank our staff for their dedication and embracing that change in how we work. As I come to talk to this gathering every year, I will end by saying to be continued. So, diolch am wrando. Thank you for listening.